potential. Okay, so we're still in Ecclesiastes, y'all. We're in Ecclesiastes. That hasn't changed. We're still there. Um, and so, okay, so a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, or a lot of people think that they are, or I don't know. Sometimes people just be like, I want to do something different. I'm gonna try entrepreneurship, and they try entrepreneurship. What the heck? Okay, sorry. Getting it together. And so one of the things a lot of people who are entrepreneurs are asking themselves in the early days is, I wonder if you ever had that I wonder if question? That I wonder if really is about sorry y'all, really is about something being there. You don't quite know what it is, but you have this feeling, or almost like this knowing that something's there, right? You got something, right? So that's where this I wonder if. And I've known people who, well, shoot, myself. I have a lot of gifts and a lot of talents. And it was very frustrating in my early years because I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I asked myself that question before too. I wonder if I can make a business out of this. Or I wonder if I wonder what I'm supposed to do with this. I wonder if, or what if, right? And so we ask that question. So the question of an entrepreneur, or a question the entrepreneur can starts with is the I wonder if, or the what if. And most entrepreneurs have asked that question, and they're entrepreneurs now. But it was because it was something there, right? So people ask that question. People who ask that question are typically your dreamers, people who can visualize. Okay, people who are dreamers and that can visualize, their mind is always like, what else? What else? What next? What else and what next? Okay. How can? Um, and so you're probably among many others who spend time dreaming of what they could do or what it would be like if they were a business owner. Excuse me. I'm always with my tea in the morning because apparently when I wake up, my vocal box doesn't want to work properly. So, you're a person that can dream. You're a person that visualizes things, and that's good. It's a good thing, but it can be a bad thing because your visualizing can take over so much that when you start doing the steps and getting into being an entrepreneur, you can completely ignore one important factor. It has nothing to do with you. Sorry to tell you that. You're ignoring a factor. This is God. Okay? And so that's one of the things we need to stay focused about is if you have the I wonder or the what if, then you also need to go to the source, which is God, and start asking some other questions as well. So anyway, so here's a note to you. We don't just come up with the I wonder or the what if, right? It usually stems from us noticing something about ourselves or something someone else saw in us. So you ever came across someone or people who are always telling you, man, you really gifted in this. You have the potential to do this. Like you're really talented in this. I can really see some serious potential in you. Or you kind of notice something different about yourself and you're like, I think I'm capable of doing this. I'm capable of doing this. I think I think I have the ability to do this. Is you noticing something, right? Something that's inside of you. So what is the something? It's the potential. It's definitely the potential, right? So although we or others see this potential in us, it is all up to God to tell us what to do with it. Okay. So now you're like, I gotta go to God about starting a business. Yeah, you do. Because first of all, you didn't give you the potential for it. Second of all, you didn't give yourself the gifts and the talents to do it. Third of all, who are you going to get the information from to do it the way God made it to be successful? So like he sees it, and he sees it the way it's like God structures our businesses before we even know we have them. And so he can see it, and I spoke about this before on the Mornings at His Feet. He can see it from the other side. So wouldn't it be fantastic to know what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it from the person who is seeing it on the end of the success? Because if they're at the end of the success, then they can tell you all of the traps, the ditches and the holes and all of the shady people and all of the stuff that's going to come your way, and then help you navigate and maneuver that. And then your business can be successful, which isn't really your business, it's God's. But anyway, back to the point. This is about potential and the source. So you're at home like I used to be. Well, I'm still home, but I'm making money because I'm listening to God. I'm accepting the help He's sending my way. I'm allowing Him to mature and grow my potential. But when I was just at the beginning stages, I did notice that. I noticed there was something there. I did have people saying, you have the potential to do this. You can do this. You can do this. You can do that. You have all these talents. You already a billionaire, like just in your hands. And so it took me some time, but I was like, I need to know what to do. Like, how do I know what to do? And I went to the source. I'm like, he's the only one that knows what to do. So I went to the source. And then I started just listening. Did I make some mistakes? Yep, because that's what we do. Shame. Shame. It's human nature. It's the flesh. It's the sinful nature to always want to take control. It's the sinful nature to always think that we're supposed to be the ones doing something or running the show. But anyway, the reason we're supposed to go to God is because He can see. He sees because He's always before us. He was before us and He's after us, and He's already in eternity. I mean, He's in eternity. God's not in time. So when we reach something, He's already there. He's there now. We're in our tomorrow right now. You know what I mean? He's in our right now. And so He's always all the way ahead of us. And so He can see and He knows how to guide us. Okay. And here's the fun thing about this. So a lot of us know that as entrepreneurs, it takes a lot of work. Those that we're already doing it, it's like, whew, child, I might not be getting up clocking in, or I might be getting up clocking in and still, starting my business or, running a business. It is a lot of work. You don't get no sleep sometimes. You be mad. Stuff just be happening. And you be like, I don't want to do this no more. But the most relieving and freeing thing is knowing that God got this. It's in His hands. See, He knows the future because He's already there. Okay? He knows the future of our startups. And for me, that's plenty reason enough to be like, thank you. Because this is a lot. So hand it over to the person that handed it to you. Like, you're stewarding it, right? Hand it over to the owner and be like, listen, right? I'm gonna need a lot of help. I need you to help me with this. And he's like, yeah, thanks for asking. Thanks for inviting me in on what I told you to do. And just let him show you how to do this thing. Okay? Let him show you how to do it. And so the thing is, all we need to do is work hard. Let me tell you what you do. You work hard at being obedient. Work hard at being obedient, because that is like I'm sorry. That's like the most important factor in starting a business as a kingdom entrepreneur. You have to be working hard at being obedient. Not working hard at building a company. It's the wrong thing. Like our mindset is like, no, you're working hard at being obedient. Because see, obedience brings more structured, detailed guidance and directions. And as long as you're being obedient, success is your first, middle, and last name. You feel me? Okay. So I got a question, you guys. Got a question. Now that you know God is the one in control, how does that make you feel? Are you a person that doesn't like someone else telling you what to do? Are you a person that doesn't like someone else taking control? Are you the driver or are you the passenger? Sometimes you have to look at it like this. Mainly all the time. When you're dealing with God, baby, you are the passenger. How you in the passenger seat, but you over like this because you want to have the wheel too. It don't work like that. Take your potential, right? Ask God what to do with it and sit on it. And I've said this before. Sometimes he doesn't always say something right away. Sit on it. Sit on it. I know you probably like, sit on and do what? Pray. And the reason why is because I can't stress this enough. I always say this. Pray. Talk to God about your business. Pray and talk to God about your business. Talk to God about your business and pray. Pray and talk and pray. So that you know exactly what to do. And let me tell you, sometimes God won't say anything for a very long time because you're not centered and focused here. He has your here, but he don't have you here. And what I mean by that is this. You can come and sit down and be quiet, and I guess you're coming to God, but all of this up here is like tick, 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 tick. Going. God does not talk to you through here. God talks to you through here and through here. And that is the way that it works. And if you're not centered and you're not focused and you are not disciplining yourself and sitting and hearing from God, then your potential is just going to be that. I am like, at this point, I too have times when I go talk to God and then every thought in the world that was not there before shows up. You just gotta like take some deep breaths. You really have to, really do something. Like me, worship music can center me like this. I just be like, let me turn my worship music on because I need my centeredness. Okay? Sometimes you have to just take that extra, not sometimes, y'all, all the time, take that extra step to really get deep into talking to God about your potential, because our potential is part of the gifts and the talents we have that were designed by God, given to us to start a business for the kingdom of heaven. That's what it's about. So, I'll read y'all scripture real quick. Not real quick. I love coming on here. I don't know if anybody else has noticed. I don't know. I'm sorry if anybody else has noticed, but I absolutely love mornings at his feet. I love mornings at his feet. I love coming on here and ministering to you guys about your businesses. Good morning. I love coming on here and ministering to you guys about business, about entrepreneurship, because there's so many moms at home, like I was, confused, just lost, like didn't know what to do. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. And it hurt me for years that I have all these gifts and talents, and I'm sitting at home with kids, and it kept feeling like every year my husband just kept knocking me up. And it wasn't every year, but it was like to the point where I was like, is there anything else useful about me except making babies? Like, I'm still at home, God, but why do I keep making babies? Is there a bigger purpose for me? Yes, I was called and destined to be an entrepreneur. And although it took me some time, although I was kicking and screaming on the floor, although I was like, that's not fair. Why does he get to work? And I built this resentment towards my husband. And I was like, everybody gets to work. Why can't I? I'm applying for jobs. Why can't I? I'm the one that has degrees. Why can't I get a job? And all the while, God is like, I didn't design you for one. I designed you to make many jobs for others. And that's when I was like, okay, now the potential I see in myself, now the potential people tell me I have, now I understand the gifts and talents, they were all given to me for a bigger purpose. And that's why I love what I do. I love mornings at his feet. Really? Awesome. What are you teaching? Please tell me, like, spill it all, because I love knowing what everybody does. I'm such a supporter. Okay, I'm such a supporter. But yeah, it's like, I just couldn't get a job, and I'm just destined to do this. And I even love doing this. I had no idea, because I don't even like talking to people in public, y'all. But God has broken me out of that, and he's so loving. He's so loving, because when he first told me to do mornings at his feet, I was like, who's doing what? Why? Why would I do that? I don't even like talking to people. And he's like, yeah, you're going to do mornings at his feet. And then I grew into it, and I love it. So coming to minister to you and talk to you and teach about entrepreneurship, the beginning stages, the things that go on before you actually become an entrepreneur. I love talking about this. I love ministering about God, period. I love it. Anytime I can reach someone and change their life, even if it's one person, man, have I done a job. Thank God, have I done a job. But so I'm going to read today's scripture to you. We are in Ecclesiastes. Remember, we're still in Ecclesiastes. Hello, Bible, you're heavy. Look, my Bible, y'all. Good. Okay. We're still in Ecclesiastes. And we're in chapter 3. And so today's it's chapter 3, verses 1 through 2, and then 10 through 11. So, mind you that if you have gifts and talents, if God has called you to do something, right, and you have potential, I just want to give you a quick note. There's a time for that. Like, I felt at one point there was something I was really passionate. I'm still passionate about. I love it. I'm doing it right now. I'm a coach. I'm actually, I got certified, got my life coach certification, and I love it. I love it. Although I'm not a life coach, I don't deem myself as that. I do deem myself as a spiritual entrepreneur, engineer, or spiritual entrepreneur, legacy builder. Love helping people build a legacy. My whole business stands on Proverbs 13:22. Anyway, I want to give you this side note. There's a season for that. There's a specific time. I was in such a hurry with this one particular thing, and it was when I wrote my first 2 books, and I was like, no, God's like, no, like, there's some things that I want you to do. I want you to create it. But I'll let you know when to release it. Doesn't have to be a book. He could tell you go to school for something, like go get your certification to be a coach. But I need you to get that, and then I need you to sit and listen to me for a year. Don't get mad if God tells you to sit out. Listen, because he sees the end, you guys. So he's going to talk to us and guide us based on the finish line. Not from where we are, because we can't see. But there's a time for everything, okay? And patience is a huge thing. Patience. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 and 2. To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the heaven. Number 1, let me just stop right there. There's a season and a time, okay? To every purpose. You have a purpose. We have a purpose. You have a purpose. I have a purpose. We have purposes. But there's a season and time for that. There's a season and time. And you know what goes on before all of that happens? Developmental stage. We are in developmental stages. And so we need to be patient because there's a time everything's supposed to come forth, right? All right. Okay. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which was planted. In terms of entrepreneurship, with verse 2, I want to explain to you the concept of planting and plucking up. Planting is your groundwork. Okay? Planting are all of the little intricate things you have to do when you're becoming an entrepreneur. That's what the planting is. And the plucking up part is taking out of what comes. Okay? So like for you and I, early entrepreneurs starting actually, when you plant, God will say, okay, now pluck up. You're reaping it now. You're going to reap it. So now there's a specific way it happens though. It's like he will send people to bless you. He will allow things to happen. And so the plucking up is really you accepting it and being obedient enough to know that God is giving this to you. Okay, so that's the planting and plucking of entrepreneurs. Verse 10, I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. Okay, so this particular scripture, like a lot of people like other versions. I love King James. However, I do love Amplified. Because it gives you a different view. But basically what 10 is saying is that, he sees all of the businesses and all of the endeavors God has given you to do. He sees that. You see that, okay? He sees that. Excuse you, glasses. Okay? Sorry, you guys. And how you're supposed to do it and what you're supposed to be doing in it. Okay? Verse 11, he hath made everything beautiful in its time. Ooh. I love that, right? God has made everything beautiful in his time. There's a time for everything. And so, yes, it may seem like 5 and 6 years of toiling and travailing and really pressing in this business. There is a day where the beauty of all of that hard work and all of that labor just comes forth, and you get the satisfaction of seeing what God was guiding you to do. So that's really great. Also, he has set the world in their hearts so that no man can find out the work of God. Hello? You hear that? You gotta come to God. You want to find out what's supposed to happen? Go to the Father. Bottom line. Listen. If you are at home or even working, it doesn't matter. If you have potential, if you feel like you have the potential, if you feel like there's something deep down inside of you and God is talking to you, if you feel like, I know that I work a 9 to 5, but there's something else I'm feeling. I feel like this is good morning, hon. I feel like it's something else I'm supposed to be doing. If you are a stay-at-home mom like I am, but I'm running multiple businesses now. But when I was just staying home, being resentful of my husband because he was able to work, being resentful of other people because they were able to go to work, I encourage you. I encourage you to take your moment. And sometimes that moment can be hours. But I encourage you, go to God. He is the only one who can explain to you why you have this potential. He's the only one that can explain to you why you have these gifts and talents. We are not just sitting here with gifts and talents and potential to just sit around. Even if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're miserable, that was week 1. Remember week 1? I talked about the scripture in Ecclesiastes when it was talking about complaining and being frustrated about your workplace and feeling a certain way. God has specific instructions for us. He has specific instructions for us as entrepreneurs. And we have to come to him and we have to listen. And we have to take that potential and we have to give it to him. And we have to understand one thing. He is the source. He's the guidance. He is the director. He's the owner of the business. It all belongs to him anyway. And so go to him, get some understanding, learn patience. That's a hard one. Learning patience, yeah, because you go through some stuff. But you have to learn patience, and you have to make sure that you're being obedient in everything. We'll slip and fall because we're human. The important thing is recognizing it, asking God for forgiveness, and hey, you're moving forward and not feeling condemned about it. So take the lesson today. Watch it a couple of times. Take some notes. Put some things into practice. Talk to God. Hear some stuff. I thank you for joining me another week at 6 a.m. because it's early for Mornings at His Feet. Join me next week for another Mornings at His Feet, 6 a.m. every Wednesday, you guys. For week 3 in this 4-week series of Am I Really Called to Be an Entrepreneur? Really? Like, am I? Have a great day.